Hello everyone, now we will take a look at the second task of week 72. The task is about lines ranges. You are given a text file name $5 and range A to B, where A is less or equals to B. Write a script to display lines ranging from A to B in the given file. Right, so there's the text file with 100 lines. There are two numbers, and we need to print lines between 4 and 12, including those 4 and 12. Right. So I wonder if we can use some kind of flip-flop operation. And actually, in theory, you have to think how big the file is. So if it's big enough, you don't have to take the whole file into memory. Right. So let's look at the solutions, and let me start this time from the section Perl and Raku solutions. And Arne is the first here. So write solution number 2 for the second task, and here it is. So right, the program starts more or less here, and right, so we've got this file name, the string, and a couple of positive integers. There's a subset, and we create, by calling this IO method, we create on the string, we create the IO path object, and then we call the lines method. Basically, we get the lines. I believe it's lazy. Is it a lazy one? So Raku docs Raku. So we need EO path, right, and we need method lines. Method lines opens the and returns lines. The behavior is equivalent to open the forwarding arguments, forwarding any remaining arguments that the lines are ready lazily, and a handle used under the hood won't get closed until the return sequence is fully refined. So sure, right, so okay, so it looks like it's lazy, so we don't have to worry about big files, right? I believe, right. So yeah, and then we count lines, and before we reach the first border, we skip any output, then we print the line, and then if we reach the second border, we can just stop. Right, so it's a straightforward solution which just should work. And let's Raku Arne Raku ch2, and I have the file here. So I have this file prepared, like 100 lines. You see the number of line in each line. And so I have to Raku, where is it located? It's Raku reviews. Raku review 72 input, right? And I need like 4 and 12. 4 and 12. Perfectly working program. Really good. Then Athanasios, here is the program. So it prints a message before it starts. It takes the file name as a string. There are a couple of natural numbers. We don't have naturals, right, in Raku, so we have to define them or not. Or am I wrong? No, yeah, it's just a subset of integers bigger than 0, of positive integers. Right, so okay, so we test. Nice. So we can test by using this construct the file for existence. Then again, so the same IO lines, string line, last if line is bigger, and print line if line is right in the range. Okay, so basically that's the whole solution, right? Alternative syntax using gather, take, and ff. That's the flip-flop which I wanted to see, and actually we see that. So we are gathering the lines, and we take the line if, right, so if it in between. Well, yeah, but we don't stop, right? So we continue the loop after we reach the second border B, right? So it doesn't stop there, but it doesn't, it's not gathered. Okay, right, but the main program is well, catch default payload pod. But the main program, what it does, it just using a loop. So let's run this Raku nice Raku to Raku, and my input parameters. It's not enough, so I need to give names to these parameters. Right. Cannot open file. Why? What do you mean I cannot open this file? User ash. Really? But what's the point? It worked. So with Arne's solution, it worked perfectly, and it was so it's here. I don't understand. So basically cannot open file. So this check didn't pass, right? Where's the solution? Cannot open file for reading. Cannot. So yeah. Wow. So you cannot do this. Okay. But you can do that with the full path. Well, yeah, I don't understand this, but yeah. Right. Okay. But the main program, the main part of the program works. Colin Crane, Raku number 2. Here's the cardinal numbers subset. They are the same as natural numbers in the previous solution from 2, and the file name by default it's the path to the program, right? To this program. Iterate through lines. Oh, well, nice. I like this solution. It's a one-liner, and let's try to understand it. So we have to start from the second thing, the second part. So 4. Okay, file IO lines. We saw this construct, so no questions here. Pairs. So we create all the. So what do we do there? So I believe we. Maybe let's just run it. So I have this users ash Raku reviews input, right? IO lines pairs. Bloop. So yeah, this is what you've got. So yeah, pairs just kind of KV on arrays and number of line and line itself. So yeah, notice that the number of lines starts with 0 and our file starts with 1. Right, so and that's the key and that's the value. So the key is the line number, value is the string itself. Right, flip-flop is here. So we print the string if its number is okay. So yeah, if its number is in the range, right? Right, so it's similar to the previous solution with just an exception that well, let's maybe look at the previous solution because it's interesting to understand how this flip-flop works. Here where it was. So yeah, you see, so if A and B, but we are in loop, and what is A and B? If take line if A and FFB. So yeah, I see. So we set the topic ourselves, and the topic is right. So these are compared against the topic, and in this solution, they are explicitly compared with the dot key, which returns you the number of line. The only thing is that do we make a mistake shift by 1 here or not? So let's go clear Raku. I cleaned this, but I need this. Right, right. So Raku colon Raku chat 2. So it's like 4, 12, and file. Oh no, everything is correct. So yeah. Yeah. From -1 to -1. Notice the thing which I sometimes make mistakes here. So for example, you can create my my first name is blah blah blah, right? But I cannot say it my name first, right? It will be a mistake because yeah, we are trying to basically it's nonsense for Perl, so for Raku, for Perl. So it's name -1, and you have this inside mine, so it's rubbish. So you cannot start. But if you will do it like this, my name first 1, for example, it will work. Blow. Right. Okay. Going next is the solution, really short solution again. So yeah, that's the straightforward solution. So we've got some A and B with some restriction, the file name, and on this file name we're reading the lines and printing them for the range given by these, defined by these given input values. Really straightforward solution. So it's a slice of this, of this, and yeah, just print it. Perl 6. Right, Raku, Raku 2 and the file name. And yeah, of course I did it wrong. 4 and 12. Right. Okay. I wonder what happens if I will give you the number much bigger than, so it's nils, right? Than the size of the file. Right. Going next. Javier, Raku 2. Here we've got two versions. I really like this approach when we have the default behavior in the one of the options in one of the variants of the multi-main sub. Then A and B, where is the file? Okay, the file is here. I don't have this file, sorry. And so yeah, input file, but then you are so this variable isn't used. Lines, line counted, line if line is explicitly. So again, so the thing is that we do not stop after we reached the second edge of this interval, and this variable is not used, but in the rest the program should work. And I believe that we incremented before the comparison, so the first line has number 1, so it should work, I believe. I will not run because I have to change this or create the file. Right. Next. Right. This is the this is the program to prepare the input file. That's nice, but where is the solution? There's no solution. Or I didn't find it. Let's look here, maybe. Sure. Right, let's go back and let's go back to the list of the solutions where they are. Right, so we go next to the solution by Mohammed, and here it is. If it loads. Right, so here, yeah, so this is the code. It takes the file name where, wow, that's amazing, I think. Yeah, so just you immediately check if this is a file and if it exists just immediately. Wow, I like this, so I want to test this. So right, then there are some other integers and line range. Lines range takes the file name. There's an empty. Why do you need empty? Then you push if for okay, so yeah, so for these you just yeah, that's like redundant. You can just immediately take this range, right? Just lines, and just put this range here inside the square brackets. Okay, nevertheless, so but I really want to test this one. I've never seen this before. And so okay, so where we are, so Raku Mohammed, Raku 2 Raku. So I need to pass the name of the file. Here it is. Right, and then 4 and 12. No, I need it like this. File is, A is, B is. Right, it works, but what if like this file? Right, so okay, so that's amazing. Again, the thing is that we don't know why this is incorrect. Like the error message would be like really helpful from the Raku side, that one of these where clauses returned false, but nevertheless I even didn't think about this approach. Really nice. Okay, right, next, and here it is. So there's that's amazing. So again, so like the check is here, file path to open, we can read it, AB, and for lines KV, so K is the line number, it's here, and line is line itself. say line if this is, so yeah, so this is flip flip flip, and that's another form of this flip operator. You'd better go to the documentation to understand how it works, because there's FF and there's FFF, two different things. Yeah, and definitely with the hat performs the set like flip-flop operation where it returns false until left argument, then returns true until right. Works similar to FF, except that it only tries one argument per invocation. That is, if $S matches the left argument, FFF will not then try to match the same $_ against the right argument. Okay, so if it's either this or that, it's kind of shortcut. Okay, right, then yeah, we print it, and that's a good addition here, unlike the previous set of solutions with a flip-flop operator. We break the loop as soon as we reach the right edge of the requested requested range. Raku 2, what we need the file name, right, and font 12. But what's can resolve caller postfix the following candidate. What? So it started to print L5 and then it broke. So it's file name A and B. Can resolve caller postfix plus plus. Where is this caller postfix? I don't understand that. Are we talking about this solution? Yes. Line 13. So I believe something is wrong with my file. Maybe like it wants. No, there's no example which should work. File path to open, right? I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand that. So I mean, no, I mean maybe something like that. But that's nonsense. The same error. Can't resolve caller postfix. The following candidates match. Okay, so it doesn't work immediately, but it started to print. So this one, line number, yeah, so how can we increment it if it is something from, so let's try to do it like this, and so I need the arguments and Raku to Raku this, right? So this is incorrect. I mean, what if I can do it like this? Yeah, so that's, and the only thing is that it starts with the 5th line, which is a bit incorrect. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is what we need, right? Right. Okay. Great. Going next. Who is next? Roger. Right. So the solution is here. So we are opening the file. Your input txt. Then for these lines, I increment the counter. So basically, I count the lines. As soon as I reach the end, I break the loop. Otherwise, I just print this if this is there. Right. Okay. So this is it. Right. Then next, Ulrich. Right. So I couldn't run the previous program because I don't have the file in directory, but I could just copy it. Right. So here it is. Unless file exists, we print some message and exit. Otherwise, we just again use these IO lines, and if the line is there, we print we append it to the array, and otherwise we just break the loop if we reach the end, and then we print the thing. Right. So let's run it. Yeah, I can just use this one, I believe. Right. So yeah, Ulrich Raku 2. Right, 4 and 12. Right, okay. Finally, this solution. But it's not the last solution. We have some in the beginning of the list. So there's a line to start, there's line to end. This is a copy, and where's the file? Is it files read also reads input? Yeah, so you have to do it like this or like that. No, I just wonder if you do it like this. This file, where does it come from? Ah, right. Yeah. So it's inside inside the signature of main, right? So, wow. So actually, wow. That's something new. Something new that I didn't. So yeah, we have another interesting thing which can happen inside the where clause. So inside the where clause, you see, so there's not just say check. There's a die with a comment, which is really good. Not a file path, right? And cannot be less than. Right, that's an interesting way to basically. This is what I wanted. In some of the previous solutions, I wanted to see why my parameter is incorrect. Not just it's incorrect, but why. Right, so but if everything is correct, then we decrement the line to start until it becomes 1 and IO cat handle. What is a cat handle? Well, I kind of can understand, can have some guess idea from the title, but I have no. Right, this class has been available, blah blah blah. Provides a means to create IO handle that seamlessly gathers input from multiple IO handle and IO pipe sources. Okay, let's see how it's used. So we create this from the input file, multiple sources, lines and line. Alternative would use lines kv to get right. That's right. Lines input real. Okay, I don't know. So what it does. So okay, let's just run it. Raku, Yari, Raku 2, and what we need 4, 12. In the path, right? For well, so it works. So yeah, the only thing to understand is how this works. So we create a new cat handle object, and it handle the files, and then what we're doing there is so basically just lines and line, but I don't understand how it. So say if okay, so we just open this file basically for reading and take the lines, probably the number of lines, right? So chomp nl encoding bin. I mean. Yeah, so we need to go to this lines method and see what's that's the limit. So yeah, we take maximum like 12 lines in my example, and we only print right when this counter is small enough. Right, after that it becomes like negative, and we stop when we reach the end of basically these lines that we took from the file. Okay, so yeah, that's but I wonder if we can always also like IO path right in the lines there. Is it the same lines? Where is it? Lines these lines. Does it have any limit? Path encoding. So you see, so there's no limit. Yeah, tip use the limit. The lines are ready, lazy. The handle want it close until the so ensure it is, or you'll be leaking open file handles. So until we read everything, we basically keep this file open. Tip use the limit argument lines. Right. So I house with the limit and right. Okay, yeah. Now I understand. Right. Right, let's go back and continue with the solutions. We skipped the first part, and right, so the first solution in this section is mine. Let me just show you what I did. Basically what I did, I just entered two numbers between 0 and 100. Also notice that probably I mentioned it somewhere earlier, but the interesting part is that you can use this where condition and you only need it once. So in the single where condition you can check two variables, right? You don't have to have a separate where against the A and separate where against $B. Right, nevertheless, so I hard-coded the file name, so I will not run it, but in any case the solution is similar to what we saw earlier, and so I'm taking IO path, then I'm taking the lines, and from that lines I'm just taking the range of elements between A and B, not including B, and I'm like shifting to the item before A. Right, and that's it, and then I will just print it in the loop. Right, and there's a one-liner to generate the file, as we saw a similar line in Loren Rosenfield's solution. Right, going next, Ben, here it is, so the solution, so we're taking the file. You see, so the type is IO of string, so it's not just a string, and a couple of integers, and we're saying 4. So we're reading the file to memory, we're slurping it, then we're taking lines, then we're splitting we're splitting it into lines, then each line is presented as a pair, so basically it's in index as the key and the value, the string itself, and we're filtering lines which match the conditions so that their line number is within these borders, and then we only need the line itself, so we are mapping the pairs back to the value. Right, let's run it. Bin this Raku to so first we need the file, right, for 12. Right, so it works. Right, going next. Right, here's the solution from Jan. Yeah, what's there? So A and B, units of main. Right. Okay, so we're taking the file name, then we create this object IO path, then we take the lines, then we take the head of this array. Basically we take as many lines as we need, so nothing more than B, and then we skip the first lines before A, and then we just print all of them using this shift. Actually, this is the side effect, so if this operator works in parallel, so you do not have nobody guarantees you that lines will be printed in the same order as you want, but nevertheless it works. And I think this solution, well, is my favorite so far. I really like you just take the head, then basically you take the tail, and that's it. So here you are. So let's run this solution. Raku 2. What do we need? We need 412 in the file. Right, and it works. Great. I really enjoy this solution. Okay, JSON Raku 2, and here it is. So so it opens the file with this chomp option. This chomp option is basically affects the lines method, and it will not remove the new line characters, right, from the strings which you will get through these lines call. Okay, so first line -1. Wait, so this is first line -1. Eager. So eager cancels the laziness, right, of these lines, so it will take everything. But wait, okay, so I see. Yeah, wow, really? So basically what we are doing here, well, I think I understand this, but I'm not sure that I know that this is possible in Raku. So first line -1, which means that we want to skip the first lines before the A, right, the line number A, right. Then this is basically the number of lines that we want to print, and for dot print, yeah, so just dot print, you can put it in the beginning, but nevertheless we just print the lines. So yeah, so okay, so the first time you call these lines, it gives you a lazy sequence of lines and you consume it immediately, right? So you consume the first lines from the file. Then you want the next n lines, and this n is just the number of lines that you want to print. And you just take those lines and print them. Wow. That's a non-standard approach, I would say, comparing to the previous solutions, but yeah, definitely it should work. JSON Raku 2. So what do we need? We need the file name and 2. Interesting, really interesting. So let's look at this once again. So you just skip the first lines, and you just then actually here you do it lazily. You lazily read and print the other lines. And after that you stop, so you don't read the whole file here. Right, nice. Raku 2, Luca Ferrari, and file name A and B. Right, so lines. So we loop over the lines, and we print the line if its line number is between. So yeah, this doesn't stop after B, and right, yeah, all the rest is the same. So let's run it. Raku, Luca, Ferrari, Raku, 2. So first we need the file name and then the lines. Right, it works. Right, Mark Anderson. One-liner with this flattening thing. So file from 2. Again, you see, so where clause mentions both from and to, both variables there. Right, so we are taking these lines. So you see, so the chomp parameter can be inside these lines, not necessarily when you open the file, from 2, and then you print this flattened. I don't understand why you need to flatten that, but nevertheless. So Mark Anderson, Raku, Mark Anderson, Raku 2. So we need the file name and line numbers, and it prints those lines. Right. Marcus Holzer. Right, so say 4. Yeah, that's I think there's nothing to comment here, maybe except like using the star here, which will and actually in every clause, so whatever block is using here, and this star is basically referred to the argument, right? Right. So Marcus Raku 2, we need the file name, and again, so we see, so where, so it's really a good thing. So if I will do it like this, it will generate, it will not just accept this file because file doesn't exist, but unfortunately you cannot see this. Why? And we saw one of the possible solutions, just you had the die, or actually maybe a print instruction also in the where clause. Right, now would Raku 2. Here we are saying we're printing lines which are returned by this function, which actually just takes the slice of the array of lines, and we have explicit indices a-1 to b-1. Right. Okay, so going next is Simon Proctor, the last solution in this series, and yeah, so here we define the subset of subset file path, which is a string for which you can find a file with this name in this string. Right, and we're using it directly in the argument file with some default value, and yeah, inside basically again the same range. And let's run it. Raku Simon Proctor Raku 2. So we need 412, and we need file like this, right? Txt. Not that simple. Maybe like this. Not enough. A and B are not named, so we have to put them. I don't understand why. I don't like this, but yeah. This is what Raku wants, or Rakudo. Right, and that was the last solution in this series. So let's look again at the task. The task was to just print the line ranges in the given file. You've got the file, you've got number of lines, and you want to print the lines between A and B. That's it. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to find your solution next time. Thank you. Cheers.